What happens is having a solar is just having like a petrol station on your own. Like you generate the power, charge your EV, you recover the installation cost in 6 years. Rest of the years it's free power to fuel your EV. So basically you're running your EV vehicle free of cost. So that is what the concept should inspire homes to go green. We never thought that someone will give us an order for 4-5 lakhs without like. So recently we had done a project for Good Earth Mala Footprints, and we had installed a 34 kilowatt system for around 25-26 lakhs, and pre-installation their bills were around 70,000. After installing, they are saving around 30 to 40,000.
So people may think that during rainy season, does the efficiency of the solar panel goes down?
So the efficiency remains the same. So we have an average generation that we kind of calculate. A kilowatt of solar that you install will generate at least.
Hey, hi everyone. Before we dive into today's episode, let me talk about something which I have recently came across. It's called the V-Spread. It's the platform that's changing the way the businesses and the people connect. Let me be real. How many times you have found yourself spending hours on Google looking for the right service or the right company or the right professional? Whether it could be the financial analyst, legal advisor, or even your travel planner. The process is endless. You scroll through the reviews, wonder if the company is trustworthy or not, and often you don't even get the answers that you're looking for. That's where the V-Spread comes in. It's a quick business platform which is solving this problem by bringing into 1,000+ services into one place, where you can instantly connect with the other parties and the verified companies in just a video call and in just a few clicks. How does it work? It's super simple. Visit vspread.net and explore the wide range of services available. Then search for the actual service that you're looking for. It could be from the business consultant to a therapist to many more. And choose from the verified companies that best fit your requirement. Along with that, you can also book the video call and get the consultation over the video call in just few clicks. Why V-Spread? Because it has the number of services available in one platform. You can instantly book your video call and get the consultation from the verified companies. And it also has the language support from English, Hindi, Kannada, Malayalam, Telugu, and many more. And here's the best part. Businesses can also onboard themselves to offer their services. So if you're a business looking to grow your client base, increase the visibility, and land the new projects, V-Spread is the space. So whether you are someone who is looking for reliable services or the business who is looking to grow, V-Spread is your go-to solution. Do check out today vspread.net, and everything is available just a click away. Hello everyone, welcome back to the first episode of 2025, and today we are going to talk about something which is not just powering our homes but also powering the future. We are going to talk about the solar energy revolution, and we have someone with us who knows the inside out, who is working in the middle of solar energy revolution, who is taking the projects, tackling the challenges and shaping the future. Welcome John, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Raki, for having me here. It's glad to be here, and it's an honor to be your first guest in the brand new year of 2025. Yeah, let's jump in.
Okay. So when we say the solar panels or the solar energy, like what comes to mind is like sticking some solar panels on the rooftop and free electricity. That's what someone thinks about it. But in real, it's a big deal, right? So I want to talk about the real challenges of solar energy, and even the governments are pushing for solar energy revolution today. Everyone is talking about it. So we'll start from your journey first and then coming back to the solar energy revolution and what are the benefits, challenges, everything about it. Yeah. I was scrolling through your profile and I got to know that you have done your masters in aerospace propulsion through Cranfield University in UK. So, can you walk us through your journey?
Basically, I think it was straightforward. Like most people choose engineering and becoming a doctor, and we choose engineering and we choose to fly high. So we got into aerospace because Dr. Abdul Kalam's and ISRO launches were all, that's the main thing that was happening in through our childhood. So that's the reason we got fascinated by space, aircrafts, and all. So it was from the childhood, it was always embedded in me to be part of the aerospace industry, and that's how I got into the industry. And yeah, but the thing is about aerospace industry, it's like a multi department fused into one, core subject. And this subject takes the best out of each department and they make the aircraft or the engines. So that is what is very fascinating about the industry. Yeah, and it can extend to multiple, industries or domains.
Okay. So, at the time, how did you thought of starting a solar energy like this in this industry?
Yeah, that was not thought at all. After I graduated and I got fascinated by energy, and we were working on multiple projects where aircraft were to be powered through, electric power, battery storage, and all. Then in that fascinated, and we were applying it into multiple domains, and that's how we kind of deviated into solar energy storage, and we wanted to help homes and businesses to generate their own power from their own rooftop and become independent of grid like Bescom power, or I mean you'll have a complete independency of control over your own power, and that is more powerful is what we felt, and we just kind of shifted to this the domain.
To this domain. Okay. I think you have your company Cranfinia Energy. So, how did it started? Can you tell us about your journey?
So basically, we as alumni from Cranfield University wanted to come back to India and give back to the society and have a company that brings in change in whichever domain we chose. But energy was a domain that we were all into, and we wanted to change something in that, and that's how the name got derived from a university name. Cranfield became Cranfinia Energy. It rhymed well, and it has and Finia is like infinity. So we took infinity and merged with things, and it was name was brought up. The name came first, then what we do came second. I mean, before doing what we this, the name was arrived. So then in energy, we did a lot of research, finding out should we. There were a lot of things like wind turbines for homes were also a new thing, and we had masters that helps us to design the turbines. But we found out that more than wind, solar is the best thing for our country, and our climate is well suited for solar rather than wind, especially for homes and small, commercial properties and industries. So that's when we told, okay, we have to work on solar and provide a good solution for homes and businesses. Rather than, so we switched from that wind turbine aspect to solar.
Yeah, so I would like to know more about the Cranfinia Energy. What kind of solutions do you provide? And it is a B2B or B2C to all the audience who want to know what there.
So Cranfinia, we specialize in battery-based solar energy solutions. Uh, Basically, battery-based, what we mean is we store the energy, and then we help homes to run independent on their power, or independent of grid power and all. So that's our specialization, because that needs a lot of calculations, and most solar companies, they like to do the on-grid one. To tell you what difference is on grid and off grid is like, on grid is basically you generate power through solar panels and you use whatever you need, then you export the excess to the grid. Grid means Bescom or whatever state government power distribution companies are. You send it back to them and you take it back whenever you need it. The only problem is that this relies on grid. So if the grid is not available, the solar will also stop generating power. So this is not, how do I say, not very independent of grid. So what we have done is we focus on giving you an independence by having batteries installed in your room, in your home. So you install, you store the power in your you use the power, excess is stored in the battery, and then whatever remaining is there is exposed to the BESCOM. And when BESCOM fails, you still use the battery power and charge the battery. So we find this as a better solution than the regular on grid. So we specialize on this, and we just not limited to homes. We have implemented it for commercial buildings. We have implemented on. We are also working on industrial projects, and this is the next future of solar also, because the grid becomes overloaded with a lot of solar power because everybody is installing, but nowhere to use it. So you need to store somewhere, then use it when the peak time of, that is like evenings when everybody comes back home. That is the peak time when power is required, but that is the time when solar is not there. So we've been always been working on battery based systems, and we specialize on that.
Okay. So what kind of batteries you use? Is it a lithium one?
Previously, we've been using lead acid when we started. That was like 8 years back. But now we have started working on with lithium batteries. We have done multiple projects with lithium batteries. And we are also gonna do a B2B thing where we are supporting other installers to by supplying lithium batteries and solution to help them to provide solution to their particular clients. So basically, Cranfinia is a B2C. So we have started with supporting homes. So the first few years was completely supporting homes because we were new and we didn't know anybody. So the only way of marketing is just throwing pamphlets in like in Indranagar. So whatever names we knew, we go there and we had people distributing pamphlets or putting in the newspapers. That's how we got, and we only got through homes. So the first initial set of projects were only homes, and we were lucky that we got projects. We never thought that someone will give us an order for 4 or 5 lakhs without like, I mean, I don't know how people would trust and all, because we are not from the marketing. We are basically engineers. We don't know marketing or how customer acquisition works and all. So we were lucky getting customers in the initial first month, and so all our projects were initially completely homes, helping homes, and we specialized in battery based systems because of a client who had very bad power problems. So he gets, whenever it rains, the transformer blows off, and like 10 hours power cut or 12 hours power cut is like endless nightmare. Yeah, but it is very bad in his particular case because the lake is nearby, water starts filling in, and his basement has all electrical equipments. So there's a electric issue, the fire issues are starting, and car is in the basement, everything is in the basement. So they have to pump out the water to safeguard the entire appliances that is in the basement. But the problem is you don't have power to run the pump. So that is where he specifically wanted a system that operates when there is no grid or no BESCOM power. And most on grid do not function when there is no BESCOM power. So we had to do with battery based system. So we successfully powered his 3-4 big motors, like 3 HP, huge motors, bore well, his overhead pump, 3-4 fridge, huge fridge. The entire villa runs purely on solar. So that was the first success, and we kind of felt that we connect. I mean, people feel that their house is being powered through solar only when there is a power cut and the solar is supplying your home. When there's a power cut and your solar also switches off, there's no feeling of having solar power. That feel is not there. So then we kept sticking with battery based system, and we did multiple battery based system. The largest we have done is a 36 kVA off the grid, where an entire showroom, TVS showroom, runs purely on solar. No BESCOM, no DG, nothing. It's just pure. The house is just, the entire building is just connected directly to the sun.
Oh my God.
So back then people were not so much aware about the solar energy, right? So how did they like, what was the awareness, or how did they give you the projects? Like, that is interesting to know. How did
Yeah, basically, even it's surprising for us because when we started, like I said, we were not confident that we will pick up PV, I mean, solar power orders. We felt that people would only trust water heaters because that's everywhere. So we also had a small, I mean, we started a little bit with water heater, but initial first month itself, we got an order, and then we decided that we'd stick only with solar power systems. And the first clients, it's even still, it was basically the client actually helped us to start our business kind of thing. So he heard our story that we are alumni from Cranfield University, and he saw us fitting his water heater ourselves, and he's like, aerospace engineers are doing this thing for me. And like, I want to help you all. You're like, I'm getting 6,000 rupees, 7,000 rupees bill. You install the solar power plant and start this is I want my order to my house be the first house for you all. And he was our first client, and its house is in Indranagar. His name is Mr. Gopal Nathan. He was the retired Customs and Excess chairman. So he was the first one who started it off. And there's no strategy. We were just lucky and glad that we got the order. And because you need to show someone to see that we have done this and it works. So he was the first guy who kind of um, helped us to trusted us, and by his first initial step, lot other people joined him in the green revolution. So he was a bold client who wanted to take the first step and inspire others around him. So that's how it started, and it's just a chain. So I still think we are just lucky we don't have a strategy of marketing or anything.
got it? Got it. So this solar energy revolution, which is happening right now, so it started earlier, but people were not aware about it. But right now, why it is important suddenly? Like governments are also pushing, giving subsidies. Why it is becoming so important now? Why everyone is talking about it? What do you think about it?
Basically, 2014, things started, but the cost was too high for homes to adopt solar for them. So very limited people were going about it, and also the quality of products that were there at that time, failures and all, and a lot of products was not in the market. So that's why it was not very, and a lot of installers were also not there in the market. So that's what it didn't, widespread, or it was not a main thing. But now it's becoming a very it's because of the government. I mean, when you say install solar and we give you 78,000 rupees subsidy and all, that is when it again picks on the limelight. And a lot of manufacturers, I mean, mainstream manufacturers, like mainstream names like, how do I say, Luminous, Tata, Reliance, and all, when they come in, they do a lot of marketing, and the name solar keeps appearing multiple places, and people start feeling that solar is a thing and it works. So it's the media and the marketing and the talks around solar that kind of made people want to have solar for their home. So now it's also cheaper. The costs have fallen down because a lot of manufacturers who are huge and large, and they can make panels at a more effective price. So the solar has reduced, cost has fallen down, and that is the major reason that it has become cost economical for people to adopt solar for their homes. And for industries, it has been like this is the best thing that what an industry can have, because the return on investment is so quick. So, I mean, it's a no-brainer for any industry to adopt solar. Homes, yeah, they have to do some calculations, but with the current subsidy and EV cars emerging, again for homes also it's a no-brainer. So it's the best. So that's all is what is making solar people go for solar now.
Okay, okay. So let's do some quick calculation around, like, if someone wants to install the solar at their home, Let's first talk about the use case of I want to install solar at my home. So for average homes, like how much does it require to install solar panels? How many?
So for an average home, let's say in most homes, the consumption of power, I mean, will be some thousand. The bills will be from 1,500 to 2,000 rupees. There, it is not very economic to have solar power plant, and that is where the government comes in and gives you subsidy, making it more interesting for you to install the solar. So when you see the government subsidy, also it's very focused on 1 to 3 kilowatt.
Correct. 3 kilowatt.
Yeah.
28,000.
Because that is the range where the solar is not that effective, and they want to help homes and to just regular homes to go solar. So return on investment will be probably with less than 5 years. 5 to 6 years will be your return on investment. And what makes solar more effective for homes is with EV cars coming in, and with scooters, EV bikes, scooters coming in. What happens having a solar is just having like a petrol station on your own. Like, you generate the power, charge your EV, you recover the installation cost in 6 years. Rest of the years, it's pre-power to fuel your EV. So basically, you're running your EV vehicle free of cost. So that is what the concept, and that is what should inspire homes to go green.
Okay, understood. And for business owners, like how many kilowatts they'll require to for their building or society if someone wants to install their in their apartments. So how much it will cost them and how it is beneficial for them.
For societies, basically, most societies will they will have blocks, block A, B, C, and each block, common area, probably they will have around like 70,000, 60,000, or up to a lakh of bill. So they can have anywhere the capacity can vary from 40 to 100 kilowatt. So recently we had done a project for Good Earth Mala Footprints at Kangeri, and we had installed a 34 kilowatt system for around 25, 26 lakhs, and pre-installation their bills were around 70,000. After installing, they are saving around 30 to 40,000. So approximately that is around 4 to 5 lakhs every month. So basically they are gonna get a return on investment in 5 years. And the products, I mean, panels have like around 25 years of warranty, product as well as performance. So in 5 years, they'll gain back their money, the investment. The rest of the 20 years, it's like free power. And the entire product is also covered in warranty. So these are kind of, societies that go ahead and install, go green. Just to make sure that there's another thing why they go for it is also because the common area bill you get in maintenance bill, when it goes above 5,000, you have to pay GST of 18%. So moment you touch a 5,000 maintenance bill, you have to jump to a 20% jump is there. So how can you keep it lower than 5,000? Because every time maintenance is just going to increase, something else is going to go bad, and you're going to incur that cost. So the only way is one way is about saving on your electricity bill. So you invest upfront and you save on your electricity bill. So your 5,000 maintenance bill will come down. So in that way, you don't jump into that GST category, and you know your residents don't have to incur that 20% jump. So that way you can have installed solar and reduce the your maintenance bill. And secondly, I think when you're in a society, you can't put it in mutual funds, the money or corpus. You have to put it in a FD, and that also they don't pay well. So this is one way of getting better returns. So you 5 years you get back your in installation cost, and next thing is you are also reducing your maintenance bill, and third thing is you're also getting free power for the next 20 years, which is better than the FD ka whatever returns you get. So all this is what they analyzed, and they went forward with a 33 kilowatt of solar plant. So like there's many societies are going forward with it. and the government is again supporting them massively by giving 18,000 rupees subsidy on per kilowatt, uncapped. Meaning, if you're putting in 100 kilowatt, you're going to get in 18 lakhs of subsidy.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So 18,000 per kilowatt, I think, right? And if you go up to 3 kilowatt, it's a 78,000.
That is on the homes.
Homes. Okay, it's a different for this.
Yeah.
Okay, for business owners, it is like per kilowatt.
Not business owners. This is only for residential. The entire subsidy is for residential sector only. So the first is 1 to 3 kilowatt, 78,000. It's capped at 78,000, and the next one is for societies or associations, registered associations. For them, it is 18,000 per kilowatt, uncapped. So for homes and business, the first, not homes and business, for homes, it is first 3 kilowatt, they give you around, I think so, 30,000. Then every kilowatt you install, it is 18,000. The max they will give you is 78,000. The government will give you is max 78,000. But for a society, for a common area installation, it can go from 18,000 uncapped to whatever value is, if let's say 100 kilowatt, then you get 18,000 into 100. That is, I don't know, 18 lakh? Yeah, 18 lakhs. That's a lot of, a huge number.
Lot of savings.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to start a business in the solar sector, so how they can start it? What are the prerequisites required for starting it? Any legal things, government license, everything, and what kind of capital do we need for that? If we can tell it for different category, like if I'm a person of 25 to 30 years age, and then if I have the more capital from like 40 age person, so how it will be like?
So in the industry has multiple different, our departments or different types of companies that can work. First one is like the top one, the chain top, the pyramid, the ones in the top is the manufacturers. Then comes the EPC. EPC are the ones who will, are like the builders or the constructors, who will buy the panels, they'll buy the inverters, then they integrate everything and hand over in system. So first is the manufacturers, then comes the EPC, then comes the installers, INC we call it, installation and commissioning companies. Basically, they take the designs, drawings from the EPC company, and they set up the power plant as per the EPC's designs and drawings. Then comes the O&M company. O&M are like operation and maintenance company. And then there's also like, there's a marketing phase also. There are companies who just provide solution, market solutions, give solutions, and then they get it done through EPCs or INCs. So there are very different type of, I would say, industries within the solar sector. So if you are a young person looking with limited capital, you want to start something, we would suggest going with EPCs for residential homes, and that's a good place to start out, because you don't need a lot of capital. All that you have to do is you'll have to associate with a bigger EPC company, and you can take up a small, area. You can provide solution to the societies, friends, and that's a good way to start. And most, lot of such entrepreneurs are also tied up with us. So in the initial stages, when they are trying to figure out if this industry works for them, they talk with their friends, families, and they work with us to the provide power plant solution to them. And once as they get confident, then they start doing things on their own. They just buy products from us. So that is a very good way for a small, someone young to scale up and get into the business. And next comes, if you are if you're an engineer, you are into the construction field, and you know how construction works, and you have a good team, you have engineers around, then you can start out as an EPC and you can do industrial projects. For example, if you're an electrical contractor and you have a lot of electrical clients already there with you, you can directly go ahead and start off an EPC company, and you can take help from the manufacturer to initially design your power plants. They will help you to they handhold you to do the QC and everything. So in that way, you can extend, add products or add services to your existing business. So construction people into construction engineering can always get into EPCs for building, I mean, industries, commercial buildings. That would be a good start for them, since they already have the clients. And these are the two ways. And manufacturing, if you want to get into manufacturing, you'll need a lot of investments and capital, and it's a very how do I say, it's a risky business too, and you need to have a lot of strategies. You need a proper team. I won't be the right one to guide you on that, so I will leave that part.
So we talked all good things about the solar energy revolution, but where do you see the major challenges that this industry can face while evolving?
The major challenge for in terms of a residential place, I think now it's going great. The only challenge that you will face is for a client. I mean, for in terms of clients, it's actually very good for them. They don't have any challenge because a lot of companies getting into the market. So all of them want to acquire clients. So they're going to give very good benefits. They're going to give a lot of services. They're going to be great. But the only challenge that we'll face is choosing the right one among the hundreds. So how do you choose the right one? Should I? They will be confused. One guy will be giving like 30% lower than the other. Then there are multiple products in the market. So certain products are cheaper, certain products are very expensive. One product is for 10 years warranty, another is for 5 years. So how do you choose? So it is, I mean, a lot of players coming in are bringing you a lot of different benefits, but they also bring in a lot of confusions. Different brands who are known for other things are, I mean, other appliances are also jumping into solar. So there is a confusion. So clients will have problem on choosing which company to trust, which product to trust. This will be the major challenge and confusion. And in terms of companies, I mean, if I'm an EPC company, what is our challenge? Our challenge is the same thing. A lot of people, competitors are in the market, and a lot of different products are there. And we know certain products work well, and technically we know this product is better and this one is inferior. But it is very difficult to explain technically, saying that this inverter has this thing, so you should go for. And not everybody is have electrical knowledge to understand that. So that also becomes a difficulty for us, and pricing becomes a problem because to give service, and a lot of companies come in to install. It's easy, but to install a plant and make it run for next 20 years or 15 years, that is the challenge. Installing, there's a lot of one man company where they get local electricians, fitters, and they just erect a plant, and they make 10-15,000 of a project. They are happy. But what happens is that later when something goes wrong, they will not be able to give services because you have to find guys again to give service. It becomes a tedious thing. But most other companies who are like for us, we have dedicated service engineers, and these engineers are on a payroll, and this kind of it costs. So we have to plan for all that, then we do our costing. So when we kind of show our costing and a one man person's costing, there's a lot of challenges in convincing the client, and that is the issue that we face. And ultimately the client will also come back to us only after 5 years. So we have to provide service for someone who has installed at a low cost and left the client for to defend for himself. We have to help him. So that is another challenge that we face with a lot of competitors in the market.
Now, do you also provide the services for maintenance, like um, maybe 2 months, 3 months quarterly, or how do you maintain that cycle?
So for homes, we kind of help clients to clean, help them provide tools for them to maintain their own power plant. And in terms of large scale projects, there is you maintenance is mostly annual. We can also do it like when you have some issues, you can call, and that maintenance is also available. But mostly cleaning and maintenance goes annually than quarterly. So it is mostly annually, and cleaning is more important during the bright sunny days, so that you can clean off, you get more power generation, and those thing. And before the start of the rainy season, you just have to do basic checks for all your equipments and appliances, the inverters and all, because that is the time when the BESCOM power is so fluctuating and erratic. I mean, very bad that it can, spoils the inverter. So we kind of do checks before the rainy season, like September to December is when BESCOM becomes very destructive and it can affect a lot of affect our inverters. So those things we do that.
Okay. So people may think that during rainy season, does the efficiency of the solar panel goes down?
So the efficiency remains the same. But what happens is the brightness of the sun is reduced. That's what your generation reduces. But it is not like zero. So there is generation. It may fall by 30%, 40%. But those are only some 15, 20 days. So if you would see the absolute dark days, only those days the generation will drop. Rest otherwise there will be only a drop of like 20% or something, and only in that particular 3-4 months that drop will be there. Then again the January comes in. I mean, end of Jan again it starts rising up, and so we have an average generation that we kind of calculate. A kilowatt of solar that you install will generate at least 4 units per kilowatt per day. So this is a basic calculation that we do, and I mean newer panels generate a little more than that. They can go up to 4.3, 4.45, and if you go to Chennai or Tamil Nadu side where there's the weather is very bright, the sun is very bright, there you can even clock around 4.7 to 5 units of power from per kilowatt per day. So there will be a drop, but it's not like the solar stops working. It does work, but generates less.
Okay. So, what I see the major challenge in this industry, from my perspective, is that the lifespan of the solar panels is 25 years. So, after 25 years, where we are going to dispose this, or yeah, environment, how it is going to affect. So, that's a question.
That's a great question. 25, the major thing, there are multiple companies already there who take up old solar panels and they kind of segregate the aluminum out, the glass out. And there are a lot of machines that do it. You just push it in and they'll shred the entire thing and they'll give you different parts separately and they go for recycling. And there are a few companies who will also take the old panels. They kind of find this, they just see certain panels, maybe the performance may not be good for that particular application, but people take it back and they use it for other application like street lights, or they can use the cells and make a smaller panel and use it for other purposes. So recycling has already started. So I think the government will take care of it, because they already, there are a lot of companies they get a lot of incentives for recycling, and multiple companies are already set and are in motion to take care of the solar waste. And even for lithium, there are a lot of companies that take care of the high performance lithium batteries. When their performance go down, they take those lithium batteries, they put it in a different packing, and they use it for different application. So EV car lithium batteries come gets recycled or refurbished, and then they get used in for lithium for home storage. So instead of cars, they get used in homes for storing power. So there are multiple companies that do that.
This question is from one of my friend Rahul. So he asked that if solar panel is running for 25 years, how much CO2 it will reduce?
So per kilowatt per year, solar would reduce up to 1.168 tons of carbon dioxide emission. That is equivalent of what 40 trees can absorb in a year. So per kilowatt, that is the value, 1.168 tons.
So in manufacturing, how much CO2 will be produced?
Uh, I think around approximately around 1.5 tons will be used or produced or emitted while producing the solar panels. But that is very it's nothing compared to the life cycle savings of a solar panel. So the solar panel, if it's 1.168 per year, so in 25 years, it's close to 29.2 tons is what it's gonna save, and producing is around 1.5 tons. So basically, it is a net reduction is much larger than what you use to produce it. So it's the greenest product. I mean, compared to your coal-based generators or your diesel-based generators.
Is there any solution so that we can improve the efficiency of solar panel to go it maximize its lifetime from 25 years to many more?
Basically, to improve a life of a solar power plant, the basic thing is to maintain it properly. So the cleaning is a major part of the maintenance requirement. So when you clean it, there are few points like you shouldn't use hard water or salty water. So what happens is when you use a hard water or salty water, the water kind of leaves a mark on the panels, and which may not after a period of time it will just settle on it like a stain. So it will become difficult to remove that, and the amount of light that goes through the glass and hits the cells will reduce because of that stain. So main important thing while cleaning panels you have to make sure is that the water is very clean. It's not very hard. And secondly, you should not clean it in the middle of the day when the sun is very bright, because what happens moment you pour the water on the panels or you spray the water on the panel, the water will evaporate and again leave stain on the panel. So it's best to clean it early in the morning or late in the evening when the panels are not hot, and also to wipe the water off. So you clean it, then there'll be a little bit of water left on the panels. If it's best practice to wipe it off within microfiber, that would be the best practice to do. So never clean a solar panel in the middle of the day. You always clean it before early mornings or late evenings. That's the best time to clean.
Got it. So in Rajasthan, Badla, we see that the 14,000 acres of solar park is there. So what do you think about this, having these big giants as solar energy distribution centers?
Uh, it is one of the largest in the country, and it puts the our government closer to its goal of achieving 40% of power coming from solar and renewable sources. And the major thing about it is, like, we always think that the hotter the place, the more power is we get, but it is actually not true. Solar panels are like a semiconductors. So the hotter it gets, the less efficient it becomes. So the solar panels also need bright light, but also a cooler temperature. So there are special panels for that, HJT panels with lower impact. They get impact. The reduction in efficiency is much lower than normal panels. And another problem in Badla, they would probably face is cleaning of the panel, because it's very important to keep the panels clean. And there also there are a lot of automated solution where the bots don't use water. They are like waterless robots that continuously clean the panel. And these are the two major problems that Badla plant would face.
Do you see the distribution of energy from there would be the problem?
Yeah, even though Badla is a big feat and it's a big name for the country in terms of its renewable energy history, what I feel is that going more ground mounted, we use a lot of land. Badla it's been set up in a place where it's not livable because it's 46 degrees of temperature. It's not livable. But what is happening is, even lot of agricultural lands are getting converted into solar plant, and that is something that is I think alarming, and that approach of setting up plants everywhere and then powering, feeding the grid and utilizing that also results in a lot of losses, because the major loss of transporting power is huge, and not very inclined toward that approach. I would always uh, idealistically want buildings and factories to generate their own power from their rooftop. And I think the government is already pushing a lot of factories to generate minimum of 10 to 20% from their roof itself. So I would suggest better town planning, and to make sure that we kind of have the land to generate our own power from our own rooftop. That is what I would incline towards.
What do you think about the future of solar energy revolution? What challenges?
So major challenge happens is that you will have a lot of power plants are being set, and solar power gets generated during the day. So all that power is pumped into the grid, but there will be no user for it. So what do you do with that power? That is the major question. And a lot of large power plants, even the Bescom or your local grid companies, they call the power plant and say stop the generation because there's excess power. So this is the biggest problem. What do you do with the excess power that solar generates? Because most consumption, if you see in the residential, is in the post evening when the sun has stopped, generating. The solar has stopped generating power. So there's a new thing that's coming up to solve this. It's called grid balancing or grid stabilization, where this excess power is either stored in batteries at different stations, so that when there's a huge demand of power, that time these batteries can supply power. And if you go abroad, I mean, in Europe, there is a different type of blockchain kind of thing, where what they do is when there is huge demand of power, if you sell power, you can make money. And when you have excess power, if you buy power, you can get it at a very cheaper price. So there's a company, I mean, it's a French company, I mean, Qbots, and what they do is they help homes and businesses. They just set up battery banks, and that is connected with the auctioning system interface. So it takes power, it buys power when the power is very cheap, stores in the battery, and whenever the power demand is high and you can make money, it sells the power or it pumps back the power into the grid. In that way, they recover the battery cost within like 2.5, 3 years. So this would be the next step. Solar gets set it up everywhere. Then comes battery and storage and different type of storage systems to stabilize and use the power is what the next big thing would be. Green hydrogen production using solar. So these are the future of the energy industry.
So, from 8 years, you mentioned that you are in this business. So, can we talk about how much income can be generated from this and how much did you achieve so far?
Yeah. So the initial years was not that great because even the industry was new, and so it was hard to, not even hard to generate revenue. It is basically our initial years were all gone into learning, and basically we are engineers, so we don't know how to run a business. So the initial 4 years were just gone in understanding business, understanding marketing and all those things. So initially we just used to do 2 projects a year. I mean, the first year we just did 2 projects in a year, and we lost all our capital running the show. We had invested in all the wrong places, like having a big showroom and all that. Then we realized that is not required because none of our clients have ever visited our office. So that is when, and this is one thing I would also tell people who want to get into solar. You don't actually need an office. Probably a warehouse would help, but you don't have to invest on an infrastructure. Invest on solutions, or invest on learning things so that you can provide best solution, better solution. invest on your PCs, your computers, invest on giving, presenting your solution better, but not on offices or all that. Invest on online presence. That is more better than investing on offices. So we were doing 2 projects per year. Then suddenly came in COVID because we started in 2017, end of 2017. By 18, we had done 2 projects. 19, we are kicking in and we are understanding everything. Then comes COVID. And we were like thinking like how we were going to proceed. And that's when we understood that we had not even covered 0.001% of the market. So our struggle was not sustaining, our struggle was how to get more orders. And that is when from 2 projects, with that mindset, we did around 5 projects within that 3 months when the lockdown opened. And then we added more people. So in the initial first year, let's say we started 8 lakhs of revenue. Second was also 10 lakhs. Then COVID comes in and we thought that will be the lowest. But we made 66 lakhs of business. Only 4 projects, which were all large projects, all battery based, 40 kilowatt, 50 kilowatt. And then we invested and we then again focused on adding a team. And then from 66, we went to 88. Then now we went 1.5. And probably this year we'll probably end at 3 and 3 or maybe 10 based on certain projects. And probably in the 9th year we should at least would have crossed 5 or 10. That's what where we are. So it's a scalable, it's a very easy to scale in our industry because the project sites are huge. So if I pick up a 1 megawatt project, I probably make a revenue of 3.5 or 3.7 crores. But what anybody who's starting should focus on is making sure this bigger projects you keep getting them. It should not be just a spike and then it shouldn't disappear. That will not be sustainable. So if you are getting 1 megawatt this year, maybe next year you should have 2 megawatts of the same size, double the size. We've been consistently going 2x to 3x every year. And let's see how it goes.
So, thank you so much, John, for introducing us to the world of solar energy revolution. And I hope that everyone got the idea. So, before ending this episode, I would like to ask what key advice and how you will encourage the people like homeowners, business people, industrialists. Why should they go for the solar energy?
Yeah. For homeowners, I would say that your consumption will always increase with EV cars, EV scooters, and the government is promoting solar. So you're getting subsidies. So make use of it and go solar. And the agreement you sign with the government is also for 25 years. So they give you the benefit for 25 years. So take it because in 2014, for every power that you sell to the government, you were getting 10 rupees. The government was paying 10 rupees. But now that has reduced to 3. So whoever installed at that time, they are benefiting still now. They are getting 5,000, 6,000 rupees every month paid back from BESCOM. So when you get a subsidy or you get any benefit from the government, take it, go forward for solar because consumption is always going to increase. So that one thing. And again, for homes, I mean, now a lot of people are going outskirts and they're making their farmhouses and all, and they face a lot of power problems. So I would want to tell them that solar is capable of powering all your heavy equipments, also your fridge, your ACs, your pumps, and everything. So always, if you have power problems, just check how solar can help you all. And for industries, solar is no brainer. I mean, that's the best thing that you can have. The ROI, I mean, the setup cost is so low for an industrial because the plant size is too big. So the cost of setup is very, very, very low. That your setup cost you will get back within 3 years. So the savings on the bill and the tax benefit, you get 40% accelerated depreciation. So all that combined, you will get your payback within 3 years. So there is no need to think. It is like the best investment that you can do for your commercial building or your industry.
We see that lot of competitors pitching in. How do you see how someone can choose the right one for their installation and for handing over this thing?
So majorly what you have to see is, I mean, you have to speak with multiple companies. That is the main thing that you have to do. Speak with multiple people. Make sure that you like interacting with them, and they are transparent and they give you details. Probably you may not be technically sound, but even if they take an effort to explain you, that is shows that they're genuine and they don't want to take you for a ride, then sell you something. They're trying their best to make sure to keep you informed of what you're trying to buy, and also make sure that the lot of companies are like have a very good marketing front. Or what happens is they probably do a very good marketing front and they take up leads and they might outsource it. They might do bigger projects or by themselves, but maybe certain projects they might outsource it. So make sure that your project is not getting outsourced. It is better to interact directly with the people that are doing rather than going to that firm. Then if you have an issue later on, again you go to the firm and then they'll reroute you to another vendor. And make sure that you don't get into those traps, and know where your installers are, see what they have done, take time, visit their sites, speak, get references from them, talk to them. That would save a lot of effort. I mean, just when you hear from your installers clients how what they tell about them, that should that should give you the right information to make the decision. Yeah.
Any interesting story you would like to share from your experience?
Uh, yeah, I would like to talk about a special project. The project name I want to is Dimple TVS. Is actually a showroom in Tin Factory, and it is a TVS showroom. It is a four-story building. Apparently, what happened is Mr. Prashant is the owner of the building. He wanted to start the operations of the building. Unfortunately, he was not getting the BESCOM approvals to start, and he had a deadline from TVS to start and inaugurate the facility, and and it is very important that they do it on that particular deadline itself, because it's in license, or then it moves on to a other person if they don't do it on that time. And at least then I think it's a huge building with all the equipment, everything is there, and the only way for him to go ahead was installing a DG or going completely solar. And he was pro solar and pro for green energy, so he told nothing doing and just going with solar. And a lot of people had told him, don't go with it, just take a DG, run it for 2 years, then probably you will get the best comp power, and they've advised, but he went ahead with solar. His entire building, four-story building, which has actually two lifts, one passenger and one for the vehicle lift, and it has a service station at the ground floor, which has a 10 HP washer. You know, the washer that the bikes get cleaned, and all the pneumatic guns to remove all the bolts and dismantle the bikes, and some 10 ACs or 15 ACs with loads of light, PCs and everything running purely only on solar. This is running from past 4 years purely on solar, and it doesn't have a DG. It doesn't have grid. It has nothing. It solar is generated, stored in the battery. Then he uses the battery to power his entire facility.
How many batteries and what are the configurations for?
How? I mean, technically, I mean it's a large battery bank, and the battery weighs around 2 tons. And I wish I can share some pictures and you can see it.
Yeah, you can share the pictures. I'll put it in the podcast.
Yeah. So it is a 1500 Ah battery, and the inverter is a Swiss brand. It is assembled in India. They have been helping us a lot with a lot of projects and all. So 9 inverters of 4 kilowatt inverters, and there's around 36 kilowatt of solar, 84 panels, So all the panels is charging the battery through 5 chargers. So they charge the battery and the inverter supplies the power to the showroom. And these are actually smart inverters. Later, let's say he gets Bescom power. This inverters can be programmed to export the excess power back to grid and make revenue out of that. And also the inverters, let's say in future his load increases, power consumption increases, and now his solar is not enough to charge the batteries. uh, he can also simultaneously charge it with the DG, small DG, just to support him for an hour or two during rainy season. It can be integrated in such a way that the automatically the inverter will call the DG. When the battery is low, the inverter will switch on the DG, charge the battery, and turn off the DG. So during very bad weather, this can also be done. But in the current situation, it is not required. So for past 4 years, it's been just running without any support from grid or DG. And I think whatever they invested, they immediately what they did is whatever money they had for Bescom and the diesel generator, they invested on solar. So from day one, they have not, this is not an additional burden or expense. So whatever money was allocated for other stuff, they have instead of choosing them, they chose solar and they invested. And if they had Bescom power, they would have been paying 40,000 every month that they saved. And if they had DG, they would be buying fuel to run the heavy equipments, and they would have needed an UPS. All that money is saved. Like operationally, also they have saved a lot of money, and this is the best, best. How do I say? Application of solar. So, I mean, even a large building can run on solar. There's nothing like only small houses can run, and or you can't use battery for solar to power the entire building. All that can be done. All the technology exists to power your home or your business independently on solar.
So, before wrapping up this podcast, if people want to take your services of Cranfinia Energy, so how they can reach out to you?
So we also operate in Tamil Nadu and Andhra, and in Karnataka we have done projects in Coorg, Sakleshpur, Mangalore. We have done Mysore Air Force School. We have done projects. So we do all across South India. So we can do projects. So anybody from South India can reach us. And if it's a large project or a very unique problem that you need to solve, then anywhere in the world you can call us. And best way to reach us is we can put up the phone numbers and
Yeah, sure. I'll
and
put the link in the description so that people can reach it.
just give us a call, and our team will actually guide you with different solutions of what is best for the your home or your business, and we can help you out and take it forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John, for joining us today.